ancient move may help reverse years of cellular aging, not through magic, not through miracle, not through empty wellness talk, but through one quiet, consistent movement that changes how your body handles pressure, fluid, and recovery. Your lymphatic system has no pump of its own. Unlike the heart-driven blood circulation, it cannot push on its own. It depends on movement, breath, and body position to stay active. And for many people after 60, that system quietly slows down far more than they realize. When it slows, waste begins to linger in the tissues. Swelling becomes more obvious. The body feels heavier in the morning. Energy drops faster by mid-afternoon. The face can look tired even after a full night of sleep. The legs feel full, stiff, or sluggish. The mind feels less sharp than it used to. Most people blame age, but age is only part of the story. A body that does not clear itself properly begins to carry more than it should, and what it carries shows up everywhere. In the skin, in the joints, in the quality of sleep, in the way you wake up, in the way you recover from ordinary days. Ancient practitioners understood this long before modern science named it. They saw that the body ages faster when it cannot efficiently remove waste, and they developed a simple nightly practice to help it reset from the inside. That practice is called Viparita Karani, often translated as the inverted lake pose, or simply legs up the wall. In old texts, it was described as a pose that combats decay, fatigue, and the slow, grinding decline people associate with getting older. For centuries, that sounded spiritual, poetic, almost metaphorical. Today, the mechanical logic is far clearer. Modern research links poor lymphatic function with faster aging markers, slower recovery, and a heavier, more sluggish body. In simple terms, when the body clears itself poorly, it can look and feel older than it really is. That gap between your calendar age and your biological age starts quietly. Not in the mirror first, but in how your circulation and your fluids move. That gap shows up in the lower body and the weight that settles into the legs when you sit too long and move too little. That is why this position matters. It looks simple, but the effects can run surprisingly deep. Lie down, place your hips close to a wall, lift your legs straight up so the heels rest, or hover just above the wall. Keep your arms relaxed at your sides, palms facing upward. Close your eyes. Let the body sink into a position it rarely gets in ordinary life. This is where the shift begins. Phase 1, the setup. Bring your hips close to the wall, then slowly raise your legs until they are vertical. The backs of your thighs and calves press gently against the wall. Your feet can be together or slightly apart, relaxed. Your arms rest on the floor, elbows soft. Your shoulders drop away from your ears. The first thing many people notice is the feeling of weight leaving the lower body. The calves feel lighter. The feet stop carrying the full load of the day. The pressure in the ankles softens. That sensation is not random. It is the first sign that gravity is no longer just pulling everything down the whole time. It is now helping fluid and lymph move back from the lower limbs toward the core. That matters because the thoracic duct, the body's main lymphatic highway, lives in this central zone. When the legs are elevated, circulation is no longer fighting the same downward direction all day. It gets support. It gets relief. It gets a chance to move again. The blood and lymph that have been pooled in the feet and legs begin to drain upward toward the center of the body where drainage and filtration can resume. This is not dramatic. It is subtle, but it is real. Phase 2, the breath. Now bring your attention to the breath. Breathe slowly through the nose. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6. Keep the breath smooth, quiet, unforced. Do not try to feel something intense. In this position, breathing is more than a relaxation habit. It becomes part of the mechanical help your body receives. On the inhale, the diaphragm drops, creating gentle pressure on the organs and the lymphatic vessels below. On the exhale, the diaphragm rises, releasing that pressure. That rhythmic movement creates a pumping effect that supports lymph flow upward, from the legs and pelvis back toward the thoracic duct. In other words, your breath is helping your body clean house. It is helping move the fluid that has been sitting too long in the tissues. It is helping reduce that heavy, congested feeling many older adults carry for years but never name it. This is one reason the practice can feel so soothing so quickly. The body is not being pushed or strained. It is being assisted. And when the body is assisted, the nervous system often follows. The shoulders drop, the jaw softens. The breathing slows on its own. The heartbeat feels less urgent. The room feels a little quieter. This is where the practice begins to feel like something more than just resting. Phase 3, the stillness. Stop adjusting. Stop checking the clock. Stop fidgeting. Let the position do the work. This is the part most people underestimate. Stillness is not nothing. Stillness is the space where the body can finally respond. In this stage, many people begin to notice the first real signs. A gentle warmth rising in the legs, a soft tingling in the feet, a light release of pressure behind the eyes, a calmer, broader sensation in the chest. These are not dramatic fireworks. They are quiet signals that the body is shifting gears. The goal is not intensity, the goal is correction. The practice creates conditions where the body can stop holding, stop resisting, and start clearing. For people over 65, this can matter more than they think. A body that drains better often feels easier to live in. The steps feel lighter. The mornings feel less slow. The face can look less puffy. The mind can feel less clouded. Sleep may begin to feel deeper, more restoring. None of this happens because of belief alone. It happens because the body responds to position, breath, and repetition. Here is what many people report over time. Day 1, the legs feel noticeably lighter after the practice. Day 3, the face may look less swollen in the morning. Day 7, the skin can begin to look more awake, less dull. Day 14, sleep deepens. Recovery from daily activity feels smoother. Day 21, the difference often becomes visible in the way you carry yourself and the way you wake up. You do not suddenly feel 20 years younger. That is not realistic, and it is not the point. The point is that the body begins to release some of the burden that made it feel older than it had to. That release can change the tone of the whole day. The old traditions did not need modern terminology to recognize the result. They saw that people who practiced this nightly habit looked brighter, moved more easily, recovered better from effort, had lighter faces and calmer expressions. They built a nightly ritual around this pose because it worked with the body, not against it. Viparita Karani is not a promise of youth. It is a practical method to reduce the burden that makes aging feel heavier than it needs to be. If you feel warmth moving from your legs toward your chest, that is a sign your body is responding. If your breathing slows on its own, that is a sign the nervous system is softening. If the mind becomes quieter, that is a sign the body is entering repair mode. The body you have at 60 or 70 is not only the body you were born with, it is also the body you have helped, neglected, stressed, or restored over the years. That means it can still change, not overnight, not through force, but through a simple practice done consistently. And sometimes the smallest habit is the one that reveals the biggest difference.